Hello everyone and welcome to another video on the Grand Market Line. Today I'd like to talk about cards that are trending up, cards that are trending down, and then cards that I think you should keep an eye on. If you can, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Again, let's talk about some of the cards that have trended up in the past 2 weeks or so. So we have Trafalgar Laws alternate art card right here, his leader card, and he's currently sitting at $155. If you look at his trend line, it's a bit deceiving because it shows him trending downwards in the past month. I have the settings right here set to a month. But when you scroll over to his view sales history, you can see that on February 5th, he was bought at $130. And then there was a few copies after that, all the way to today's date, where he was bought in that $120 to $130 zone. So just with that knowledge right here, we can see that he's currently sitting at $155 and this card is going up. So knowing that this card is trending up gives you a handful of options. Option number one, and I think the most obvious option is maybe it's a great time to sell. Fortunately, I was able to pull this alternate art in one of the two boxes that I opened, and I sold him and let him go for around this price point. So for me currently, I think it's a great price point to let him go. But if you don't, that's okay. Because your second option is just holding on to him for sentimental value, or you believe that he has further to climb, which is perfectly okay. But always be willing to lose that money just in case he starts to trend back down. Or maybe you're on the other side of the fence. Maybe you've wanted this card and you see his price spiraling up and you don't quite know what to do. Should you buy? Should you see if it goes back down? And those are decisions we have to make. For me currently, if I wanted this card and I was in the market for this card, I would wait for it to go back down. I would be rolling my dice on that second wave, knowing it's coming out, and hoping that drove the price down a little bit further. All right, next up that I have for us to talk about is Basil Hawkins. Basil Hawkins has been seeing a lot of success in some green decks lately, and I think that's what's causing his price point to go up. If we look at his trend line down here, we can see that he was sitting at $4.50, and now today you can get him for almost $9. So anytime a card has a lot of success, like we've talked about in the past, it tends to go upward. This is his super pre-release card, not his normal structure deck card, so it's the highest rarity of Basil Hawkins that we have currently. So always keep in mind when a card's doing well, you want to pick it up, and always try to get that highest rarity card because it's going to hold the most long-term value. Another card that's been seeing some success is Gordon. In the Treasure Cup, we saw a lot of red decks piloting Gordon, and some of those decks even made it to the top cut. And for that reason, I think he's trending upwards. We can see that he was $2.40, and then today he's sitting at around $4.23. This is all in the past month. Basil Hawkins, this is a special card. Basil Hawkins, as we talked about, was a pre-release card, and Gordon is a promo card. So we're starting to see that some of these hard-to-get niche cards are going up a little bit in value. Always keep that in mind. Is the card hard to get? If so, it's probably going to trend up a little bit more in value as time goes on. All promo cards are just going to go up over time, though. They have to have a specific use or mean something to the community as far as collector value. So, for instance, Jordan is being used in meta decks, and therefore he's a little bit harder to get, and his price is jumping up. So that leads me into my next card here, Sunny Kun. Similar thing happening. Sunny Kun we know is used in the next meta. We've talked about this in some of my previous videos. He was a month ago sitting at $7.65, and today you can't get him for any less than $8.73 here on TCG. Need this card for your future red deck? Today or sometime soon might be a good day to pick him up. This trend line just keeps showing them getting a little bit more expensive as time goes on, and we want to keep that in mind. So try to save money today if it's something that you're really interested in. Next up, I'd like to talk about Nami's alternate art card. So we can see a month ago, she was sitting around $255, and then she crashed all the way down to $200. But now she's slowly climbing back up to around $223, or what we see up here, $230. Not too long ago, I believe it was February 8th, Yep, February 8th, you could pick her up for between $200 to $220, but now she's sitting firmly at $230 when we look at all the listings, and she only continues to climb up. The same situation as the Trafalgar Law alternate art card that we talked about earlier. If you want to sell her, I think it's a great time. If you want to hold her, do so. And if you want to buy her, I might wait a little bit. It's a high price tag for her, and we've seen that her highest price point ever was $255. So at worst, we lose $25 on making the mistake of waiting. But it could start crashing down like it has in the past, and you could pick her up for cheaper. Things aside, though, whether you're able to cash in high today or buy low in the future, I think this Nami is going to be a great long term hold. Next up, I wanted to talk about some cards that have trended down lately. The first off is Rondo Azulo, the Parallel Rare. He was sitting at $170 a month ago. Today, he's fallen all the way to $113. Card starts trending down in value like this. There's a couple things going on in my mind. I know that this Zoro is used in the meta in the future, so I'm thinking, do I go in now and pick him up for $113, or does he have further to fall? Personally, I think he has further to fall, and I think that he's going to go down a little bit more in value before he rises up. But I do know that it's starting to look like a great deal. Whether you get him at 113 or possibly pick him up at 110, we know this Zoro is used in the future meta, and he's going to have a slight bounce back up in price. However, there's also the reprints coming, which could further drive this down. So I'd probably stay away for a little bit, but this is getting dangerously close to the lowest I think we'll see him. I think you could possibly go if the reprints hit to $80, but $113 solidifying your copies today, knowing he's used in the future meta, I don't think is a bad pickup either. Second card that I've noticed trending down is the Yamato Parallel Rare card. She was $118 a month ago, and today you can pick her up for $80. I think this card has further to fall, and I don't think she has a place in the meta like Zoro does in the future. However, I'm not as confident in this statement particularly, so please comment below if you know differently about her use in the future. But for right now, I'd probably stay away. Next up is Trafalgar Law, sitting at $73 and the third card to be trending down. A month ago, he was $102, and today you're getting him for $73. I think this is maybe as low as you're going to see this card go, unless again we get that reprint. But $73 for a card that I know is at least a 2 of in most green decks in the future, I think that's a great price point. And his effect is crazy, and people love this character. I think he's going to stay close to $73. If he goes a little bit further down, it wouldn't surprise me, 65, but I think the bounce back is coming soon. Up next, we have Candyman. He was released to TCG on the marketplace today. Is the first time that I saw him, so I just wanted to talk about him. So this is the pre-sale version. He's $150. I've talked about some of the other pre-sale leaders and what I thought. For Candyman specifically, I don't think he's worth it. There's something to be said for the Whitebeard leader. I thought he was worth it at $150. But something about our fan base right now seems to be going a little bit more wild for red cards. While as we see like some of the Eustace Kid alternate arts and some of those leaders, that their value has struggled to go up over time. Trafalgar Law has red attached to him, the alternate art, which is what I think is helping him drive up. But for green cards alone, like our Eustace Captain Kid pre-sale or pre-release card, all those have really struggled to just boom in price. So I think that Candyman in the future is going to be a little bit cheaper, and I wouldn't pick him up today. Card that I'd like to talk about is maybe the card I'm most excited to talk about, and that's Shanks. Shanks seems like a little bit of a dark horse to me. A month ago, he was sitting at $21. This is his lowest rarity card. Great artwork, but lowest rarity. $21, and then he rose to $25 in the past month. If you slide over to his parallel rare card, you can see that he dropped down from 37 a month ago, but then has slowly climbed his way back up. And then last but not least, you have the manga rare, which was sitting at $600, and in the past month has climbed its way all the way up to what we see is $900. Every copy of this card has continued to fight its price point back up. For me, I personally like the Parallel Rare card the most just because it's the most affordable. If you can get the manga rare, I love that copy too, and I think it's a great long term hold. The one I would at least pick up, even though I think the artwork is amazing. If you want one copy just for the way he looks, I don't blame you. But I would stay away from this card because, like we've mentioned in the past, if this card does get reprints or if it falls out, it's always going to be the lowest rarity card to go first. So I'd probably keep my eye on one of these two, the Parallel Rare or the manga. But I like Shanks. He's gone up in every angle. That concludes today's video. But let me know what you guys think about Shanks or any of the other cards that I've mentioned today. Do you agree with me? Do you not? Are you going to pick some of these cards up or sell any of them off? I'd love to hear. Thank you so much for watching.